Concept of mind as God has been explored in various spiritual traditions throughout history. This idea suggests that the mind is not just a product of the physical brain, but rather an extension of a greater spiritual force. Today, we will explore this concept in more detail and examine its implications for our understanding of the mind and spirituality. The idea that mind as God is rooted in the belief that there is a greater divine consciousness that pervades the universe. According to this perspective, the mind is not just a finite entity that is confined to the physical body, but rather an infinite and all-knowing entity that is capable of creating and transforming reality. This idea can be seen in various spiritual and religious traditions, including Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, and Islam. In Hinduism, the mind is often referred to as the antakarana, which is translated as the inner instrument. This concept suggests that the mind is an essential part of our being that is responsible for our thoughts, emotions, and perceptions. According to Hinduism, the mind is not just a byproduct of the physical brain, but rather an expression of the divine consciousness that pervades all things. Similarly, in Buddhism, the mind is seen as a fundamental aspect of our being that is interconnected with all other beings. According to Buddhist teachings, the mind is not just an individual entity, but rather a part of a greater cosmic consciousness. This perspective suggests that the mind is capable of transcending the limitations of the physical body and connecting with the divine. In Christianity, the concept of the mind as God can be seen in the belief that we are created in the image and likeness of God. This idea suggests that the mind is not just a product of the physical body, but rather a reflection of the divine. According to Christian teachings, the mind is capable of understanding and connecting with God, and it is through this connection that we can experience spiritual fulfillment. In Islam, the mind is seen as a gift from God that is essential for our spiritual growth and understanding. According to Islamic teachings, the mind is not just a product of the physical brain, but rather a reflection of divine consciousness. This perspective suggests that the mind is capable of understanding and connecting with God, and it is through this connection that we find spiritual enlightenment. So, the concept of mind as God has implications for our understanding of spirituality and the nature of our reality. If the mind is seen as a divine entity that is connected to a greater cosmic consciousness, then our thoughts, emotions, and perceptions can be seen as expressions of this divine force. This perspective suggests that our inner experiences are not just subjective phenomena, but rather reflections of the divine. Furthermore, the concept of the mind as God suggests that we have the power to transform reality through our thoughts and intentions. If the mind is capable of creating and transforming reality, then we have the ability to shape our lives and the world around us through our thoughts and actions. This perspective suggests that we are not just passive observers of reality, but rather active participants in the creation of our own destiny. So the concept of mind as God is a powerful idea that has been explored in various spiritual traditions throughout history. This idea suggests that the mind is not just a product of the physical brain, but rather an extension of a greater spiritual force. This perspective has implications for our understanding of spirituality and the nature of reality, and it suggests that we have the power to transform our lives and the world around us through our thoughts and intentions. the idea that the mind and life force are God, and that our imagination is the mode through which we create our reality, is a metaphysical concept that has been explored in various spiritual and philosophical traditions throughout history. It suggests that our minds are not just finite entities confined to the physical body, but rather extensions of a greater divine consciousness that pervades the universe. According to this perspective, the subconscious part of the mind is the part that is connected to the divine consciousness. And it is through this connection that we are able to tap into the creative power of the universe. This creative power is often referred to as life force, and it is seen as the energy that animates all living beings and gives rise to the diversity and complexity of the universe itself. So our imagination is seen as a tool through which we are able to access and channel this creative power. Through our imagination, we are able to conceive of new ideas, concepts, and possibilities that were previously unknown or unrealized. This perspective suggests that our imagination is not just a fanciful or frivolous aspect of our minds, but rather a powerful tool that allows us to shape our reality and create the world that we experience. The concept of mind as God also suggests that our thoughts, concepts, and ideas are themselves creation of divine consciousness. This perspective suggests that the universe is constantly evolving and expanding, and that our minds are active participants in this process of creation and transformation. Our bodies are seen as the vessels through which we are able to experience the creations of God. Our physical senses allows us to perceive the world around us and interact with the various forms of manifestations of divine consciousness. This perspective also suggests that our bodies are not just passive recipients of sensory information, but rather active participants in the process of creation and transformation. So, to recap, the idea is that our minds are an aspect of God, and that our imagination is the mode through which we create our reality. It is a powerful and transformative perspective that has the potential to revolutionize in our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. This perspective also suggests that we are not just passive observers of reality, but rather active participants in the creative process of the universe itself. So by tapping into the creative power of the divine consciousness, we are able to shape our reality and create the world that we experience. So in many religions and spiritual traditions, God is seen as the ultimate creator, responsible for the creation of the universe, including the trees, the plants, the animals, and even the very breath that sustains us. This perspective suggests that we are not the ultimate creators, but rather we are part of a larger creative force that is responsible for the beauty and the diversity of the natural world. So, according to this perspective, the creative force that we refer to as God is flowing in and through our bodies and is responsible for all the amazing things that we see and experience in the world around us. This creative force is seen as a higher creative power that is beyond our understanding, but that is nevertheless present in every aspect of our lives. When we were conceived, our subconscious mind was created as well. The subconscious mind is responsible for processing the vast amount of information that we receive from the world around us, and for making sense of this information in a way that is meaningful to us. It is through the subconscious mind that we are able to tap into the creative force that is flowing through us, and to use this force to create new ideas, concepts, and possibilities. However, the subconscious mind is not able to create something out of nothing. It is only able to take what is already produced and expand upon it. In other words, it requires input in order to produce output. This input can come from our environment, our experiences, our thoughts and emotions, and even from the creative force that is flowing through us. So the perspective that God is the ultimate creator, responsible for the creation of the natural world, including trees, plants, animals, and even the breath that sustains us, is a powerful and transformative perspective that can help us to better understand our place in the world. By recognizing that we are part of a larger creative force, we can tap into the power of the subconscious mind and use it to create new ideas, concepts, and possibilities that can actually help us grow and evolve as individuals and as a society. So, as human beings, we are part of a greater world that extends beyond our individual selves. This world includes not only the natural world around us, but also the social, cultural, and spiritual dimensions of human existence. While we may feel small and insignificant in the face of this vast and complex world, we nonetheless have the power to influence it in profound ways through our thoughts, emotions, and our actions. The concept of manifestation is based on the idea that we have the ability to shape our reality through our thoughts and emotions. This concept suggests that our thoughts and emotions have a vibrational frequency that can attract corresponding experiences and outcomes into our lives. In other words, our thoughts and emotions are not just abstract ideas, but are actually powerful forces that can shape the world around us. At a basic level, manifestation can be seen in the natural world. For example, when we plant a seed in the ground and nurture it with water and sunlight, we are manifesting a new life form. Through our actions and attention, we are able to influence the growth and development of the plant, shaping its form, determining its ultimate fate. Similarly, in our personal lives, we could use the power of manifestation to shape our experiences and outcomes. By focusing our thoughts and emotions on positive, constructive outcomes and visualizing ourselves achieving our goals, we can attract corresponding experiences and opportunities into our lives. However, it's important to note that manifestation is not simply a matter of wishful thinking or positive affirmations. In order to manifest our desires, we must also take concrete actions that support our goals and align with our intentions. This may involve making changes in our behavior, developing new skills or habits, or seeking out new opportunities and experiences. So, the concept of manifestation suggests that we have the power to influence the world around us through our thoughts, emotions, and our actions. While we are part of a greater world that extends beyond our individual selves, we nonetheless have the ability to shape our experiences and outcomes through our conscious attention and intention. So, by focusing our thoughts and emotions on positive outcomes and taking concrete actions to support our goals, we can manifest our desires and create the life that we envision for ourselves.